Our neighbor India. Recently, you know that they have stricken a landmark deal. It took them 2 decades to understand this deal with the European Union, the free trade agreement between that. And not just this, we know that India has been a supporter of Russia, but on economic terms, not on direct military confrontation with trade and cooperation, no. They were understanding the fact that they need crude oil and they are buying it from Russia. 1.5 million barrels, as I was saying. This has inadvertently supported the Russian aggression towards Ukraine, and that is the US position coming out there. US has dropped its reciprocal tariff from 25% to 18%. India finds itself in the helm of global geopolitics. Your observations, because there's a very important tactic and strategy they have missed out on, and I am very keen to ask you this. Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, all of which compromise around India, including the SAARC framework. We are all left out of this deal with the European Union. Of course, all of our markets are going to get affected because of this deal. What is your observation?
Look, first of all, I believe the India-Russia relations is very deep-rooted. No other deal can hamper these relations. And the Indian relations with USA is just sometimes good, sometimes bad, flexible, issue based. So the USA offer may not deter India from importing crude oil from Russia. This is on side. Coming back to again this capturing Maduro, one of the objectives revealed that the Venezuela affairs is being now controlled by USA, and especially the oil. So this you can compare with the invasion of Iraq.
Right.
Iraq invasion was nothing but plundering the oil. This so-called weapon of mass destruction, we know that Saddam was in a position to assemble weapon of mass destruction in 40 minutes. Who told it? Mr. Tony Blair. Mr. Tony Blair was never penalized for this false information, for this false intelligence. Nobody has told. So this is a world of plundering. So again, same thing has happened after invasion of Iraq, the capturing of Maduro from Venezuela, only for oil. Now the oil industry is being controlled by USA, where they will now export this oil. All of the big countries, India. So multiple objectives. I offer India Venezuelan oil in a cheaper price than Russia. So you come back from Russia. But how much it will work, I don't know. India is a big global market. So European Union will have the free treaty. It happens for the bilateral mutual advantages and benefits. So that will happen. Indian market is a big market for any big country.
Right.
Now, this offer, we have seen that America is offering Venezuelan oil to India. You see the politics, the objectives of capturing Venezuelan president.
Right, to negotiate, to cut off from Russia.
Yeah, this has opened a very dangerous situation for the world politics, regional stability and peace. Now, India geographically is a big country. Now, if you say that I need Maldives, I need Bhutan, they are controlling Bhutan. I need Nepal, and of course, they can also say that Bangladesh is within America, within Indian periphery, within the Indian geography, so need not to be separated. So this dangerous situation might lead a international to the regional conflict.
Right.
And the world leaders, the world politics gradually shifting from the policy of accommodation, policy of tolerance to a policy of right-wing politics and a politics of invasion and ignoring all international rule, law and norms.
Of course.
So this is a dangerous world that we are heading for, and for that this Trump will be blamed that he has opened this Pandora box. what he is doing, he is totally unstabilizing the whole world, and if the regional politics is anywhere, conflict anywhere is a threat to everywhere. So, a conflict in South America or in American soil is definitely a pressure or is a conflict, potential politics. And this, if this example is taken by the big countries like China, Russia, India, so that will be very bad for the whole world. So, that will completely break down the world order. We hope that that should not happen. So, that is why America has a beauty that their people protest.
Of course.
When Gaza was, the brutal killing was going on in Gaza, it is the American people who really protested. That American people really protest.
Of course.
So, that is a that is a positive thing within America, in their democracy, in their practice of this rightist politics. So, that is a real check for Trump not to go further, not to unstabilize anymore in the world.
I must thank Norman Floyd Barnes for his contribution and joining us on this broadcast today. And I want to focus now back onto the studio with Barrister Sarwar Hossain. A lot of topics that you have opened up, and I really enjoy this discussion. I want to have a question based on a thing that you had mentioned, plunder. The word, the terminology, definition of plunder comes from when the medieval ages, when the pirates used to loot another boat, another ship, and that is that same characterization is still being used. According to the news, Venezuela's interim president Delcy Rodriguez received U.S. envoy Laura Dogu on Monday as the two countries move forward to repair relations that were severed back in 2019 to follow the rule book of the U.S. On the future planning and prospectus of the Venezuelans. We know Nicolas Maduro was a very favored leader by their country, and it has now opened up an entire realm. Today, if the People's Liberation Army in China, the PLA, choose to attack Taiwan, that would not be that would be compared normal by international standards set by the U.S. administration.
And America has lost the moral ground. U.S. has lost the moral ground. So, USA is going to establish a rule, the jungle rule, might is right.
Of course.
So, the world has shifted. It is a modern world. It's a world that you must respect the sovereignty of others.
Of course.
You must not intervene in the others' internal affairs. So, today if China just go and occupy Taiwan, US has nothing to do.
Of course.
Nothing. They don't have the moral ground.
In their own activities.
Rather, they have given
Venezuela.
This is on type of license that I have done this thing, you can do this. How can you capture a head of a state of the other country simply for the oil?
It is nothing but the oil. Still do not forget
it is nothing but the oil. Yeah, everybody understands. They concern people because whole interest of Trump was on the oil factory of Venezuela. Now you are trying to sell this oil factory. So this is an era of plundering. The British rule in this subcontinent continued for 190 years. The first 100 years is known as the era of plundering. They have plundered. You know that Kohinoor is still in probably UK. It is not returned. We know the issue of the Kohinoor. So that old game, that old jungle rule is coming back.